Hey guys, how's it going? Hope you are doing well. All is good in your hood. Unless you don't live in the hood. Maybe you live in the suburbs. So I hope all is good in the burbs. Or something. I don't know. Today, guys, we have something pretty neat to look at. I mean, when do we not have something neat to look at? But today is particularly neat because this is something that I personally have been pursuing for a couple of years. And I finally think we have something that works pretty nicely. So what is this thing? This thing is wireless communication. So communicating with the player on a remote basis, anywhere in the world. Now, we've kind of had this sort of thing in various forms over the years, but it's always kind of hacky and never really works too great. But today we have something pretty neat. So what I'm going to try and do today is I'm going to show you how to send texts, SMS messages, air quotes, in survival using redstone. Okay, so to explain this, we're going to start from the beginning because the history of all this sort of links together, and I think it will explain it fairly nicely. So the first iteration of this wireless notification system, we'll call it, was, I believe, by Seth, and this was many, many years ago. And essentially what it did was you would build something like this, which is kind of like a dunk tank, which you'd find like a carnival, like so. Let's actually put some water in there. I don't know if water is strictly necessary, but we'll put it anyway. And essentially what you'd do is you'd place one of your wolves on top of the system like this. So this wolf is here. Now if you didn't know, wolves actually have this special ability to teleport to you when they are not near you. So if they're actually sat down and you travel far away, they won't teleport because they're sat down. But if they're actually stood up and you're far enough away, they will teleport to you. So the thing is that this wolf right here is sat down, but if we actually release this trapdoor here and allow him to fall down, to be suspended in air, he will actually automatically stand up. And if he is stood up, then he will teleport to us if we're far enough away. So let me just kind of try to show this to you. So we just hook this up to redstone over here, just to have some wire, probably put a repeater here just in case, like so, and a pressure plate over here. So when we actually go on this pressure plate, he should fall down and he should teleport to us. As you can see, he's now right next to us. So essentially what this was a way to notify you of something. So if, a redstone pulse triggered something, the wolf would teleport to you and it'd say, well, you're being notified of whatever. So that's pretty cool, but there are a few drawbacks here because first of all, you don't really know what it's notifying you of. It's essentially just an on or off switch. Something happened, but you don't know what. There's also the fact that physically sending the wolf seems a bit messy to me. What if you're trying to send a discreet private message and you don't want anyone else to see it? So the next evolution came when Mojang decided to improve upon death messages. So they made it so that when one of your named pets died, it would send you a notification in your chat. So it worked a little like this. Let's just place down a wolf here. And if we were to rename this guy to, I don't know, we could call him Charlie the dog. Charlie. So we rename this guy to Charlie. Sit him back down. If we were to kill this guy, or if this guy were to die, we will see that in our chat we get a message that says Charlie was slain by Sark. So this is of course a great improvement, firstly because it's more discreet, it just goes directly into your chat, but secondly because it's not just an arbitrary 1 or a 0, the message can be customized to whatever you like. This guy doesn't need to be called Charlie, we can call it pretty much anything we like. For example, if we want to call it melon chest full to indicate that our melon chest has been filled to the brim, then we just rename this guy melon chest full, and if we were to kill him with redstone, then we'll receive a chat message that says melon chest full. We know what the notification is, and it's discreet. Now, as great as this almost is, there's one major drawback, and that is the cost of use. So essentially, every time you want to send a message or a notification, you need to discard of an entire name tag because the pet needs to be named and it needs to be killed. So that's a pretty hefty price to pay for the use of this system because this is something you want to use quite a bit, and a name tag every pop is pretty expensive. So this brings us to today's system, which fixes these problems and is actually really, really cool to work with. So 1.9 is where this all changed because Mojang decided that all pets should be made equal. So in 1.9, all pets, regardless whether they're named or not, will send you a death message when they die. So just to demonstrate this, if I just spawn this wolf in here, he's not named or anything, but if I kill him, he still sends a death message. And this is key, this is key, this is the missing piece that we've been waiting for. This changes everything. So you may be thinking, okay, fine, the cost is down, but you now don't have a customized message. We're back to square one, it's just a vague, the wolf has died. And I agree, that is kind of a problem, but here's the thing. Death messages can be customized in more than one way. So basically, instead of renaming the pet, we rename the murderer. So let's go over here and create a little vessel for our new murderer, because we're not going to be the killer in this situation. We're going to be using a skeleton, so we just summon him in there. And essentially, all we need to do is rename him to the notification that we want to display. So for example, if we rename him to, let's say, furnaces smelted stuff. That is our notification. Now we'll just pop that in there. And if we come over here and rename him to that, all we basically need to do is just put a cat in his place. We're going to use a cat. It can be a dog or a cat, but cats are nice too. Just place him down there. And if we go into survival to lure him into killing him, you see cat was shot by furnaces smelted stuff. So essentially what we've done here is we've got a custom notification. We killed the cat, but we didn't have to kill the mob that was named. Okay, so this is excellent, but we're not done yet. There's still some more improvements to be made. So if I open up the chat, you can kind of see that it's kind of tricky to spot where the notifications are. It's all kind of washed out among the rest of the text. I mean, even when it pops up on the screen, it's kind of tricky to tell where the notification is. So how can we improve this? Well, basically what we're going to do is we're going to, first of all, reduce the message size. And how are we going to do this? Well, if we take another look back at the death messages, we can see that there's actually a few variables. So the first thing is who was killed, then there is who the killer was, and if applicable, the weapon used to kill them. So we're going to go inside here and we're going to place another skeleton down, but this time, instead of using the skeleton as the notification, the skeleton's name is the notification, we're going to use the weapon it's holding as the notification. So if we just change the name of the weapon, that will actually pop up in the message as well. So what we're going to do is we're going to rename this guy to nothing. So this way the skeleton portion won't actually show up in the message and it will be even shorter. And then what we're going to do is we're going to rename his weapon to something else. In this case we're going to change it to, not boop, we'll call it, how about intruder detected. Obviously in regular survival Minecraft you're going to be using command blocks, but this is just for demonstrations. We'll do that, change its name, and then what we're going to do is we're going to place down another cat over here to demonstrate this in action. Place the little cat down there, go into survival mode, and we should see, maybe, if it pops up. Let me go behind here so he doesn't see me. Let that fade a little bit. When he tries to kill the cat, you can see that it says cat was shot by nothing using intruder detected. But there's one final thing that we could do to make this absolutely perfect, and that is change the color of the notification in the chat. We can do that, and it's actually quite simple to do. Essentially, all we have to do is give the bow in the skeleton's hand an enchantment. Enchanted weapons will actually show up as blue in the chat. So let's do that and show it in action. So essentially, we just put it down like so. Give the skeleton an enchanted bow. You see, it's now enchanted. If we pop into survival yet again, we will see when he tries to kill the cat, then it shows up as blue. Cat was shot using intruder detectors, but now it's very, very easy to tell. Perfect. But guys, that is pretty much all there is to it. I think this is really cool, and I hope you do too. If you did, a like is of course always much appreciated. Subscribe if you're not already. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.